No, I'm super excited. We got a lot of new people today. This is phenomenal. Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to keep talking as people come in. But welcome to the Charlotte Eastland area monthly Eastside Community Forum. We have a lot of folks who are joining us for the first time today. So some context, this is very much just an open forum, community curated agenda from different organizations, which started off as primarily faith and nonprofit, which we took over from MeckMin, Reverend Ladane Pulaski, who is on the call with us today. We took over from her. She graciously gave us the East Side meeting a few years ago. And we just use this as a very informal place, quick 45 minutes, very to the minute, to create just an open forum for neighbors, faith leaders, business leaders, anybody to discuss what they have going on the East Side. Um, so with that said, let me go ahead and get us to the agenda. The meeting is recorded, so I send pretty thorough minutes. I try to, in the day or the days following the meeting, as well as the recording. So, going to go over our agenda today. We have some really phenomenal agenda items I'm very excited about. But I am going to go ahead and start with Angie Robbins from WCCB. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see you all. Um, I am here to share with you an initiative that our company is launching here in Charlotte. My job, by the way, here at the station is community engagement and development. And so I develop shows and programs and develop uh, integrations we can be involved within the community. Um, I'm a native Charlottean, just for background. I was born on the west side and went to school on the west side. Um, and I always, on weekends, we always went to Eastland Mall. I'm giving away my age here. Um, but that was always our fun, is to go over to go ice skating and shopping at Eastland Mall. And so I think it's fun that today I'm working with Charlotte East and the West Boulevard Neighborhood Coalition. It's like this perfect combination in my life at this point. It's just really, really magical. It would come together like that. Just a quick overview of something that we've gotten involved in here, very much so in the last few months, is that we are, as I mentioned, we're going to be working with the community to support and do positive things to help lift up voices in the community and to share the good about East Charlotte and West Charlotte. And we are beginning with East Charlotte, which is perfect for us because we are really at the tip of East Charlotte here, where we're located. And when people ask where's our station, I always say we're in East Charlotte, right next to Bojangles and the park. And so one of the things that we're going to be working on is producing stories that tell positive stories, encouraging stories about the neighborhoods and the businesses in East Charlotte. And so we're going to do a two-tiered rollout for the rest of this year. One will focus on Eastland and the glory days and the glory to come for East Charlotte. And we've been working with Greg on content on that and ideas. We have we have a couple of people that are we're I can't go over that right now, but we're in progress on conversations with them about being our talent for this. Both of them are just wonderful individuals. And so we're going to start out with Eastland area and the Eastland initiative and the whole revitalization there. And then as we get toward the end of the year, we're going to work on small business development, highlighting small business in the community. And then next year, Greg has given us a couple of other ideas that we can do. What we see our role as is to amplify the good in East Charlotte and to project that to the community and to highlight that the people who are doing good, the things that are good. There's so much in this section of the city, and we're just at the tip of it here where I am, that's going on, and we just want to amplify that. So Greg thought it'd be a nice idea to share all of that with you guys. And my colleague Brian Robertson is not with me. He's been working on this project with me for a while. Um, his car broke down, and so he's had a rough couple of days. So he took an Uber and now the Uber is having a problem. So I told Brian he's a jinx, I think, on these cars right now. But so I do have a colleague here. We got a social media person that we'll be working with, and then we've got two people who will be the voices of these stories. Um, we're really excited about this. You can see, me being a Charlottean, this is just the best thing is to be able to be in my hometown and be able to do this kind of to produce this kind of content. And so I think, Greg, does that kind of encapsulate? Is that okay?
Yeah, and I really just wanted, because there's the most of the folks in this call, I mean, we have some neighborhood leaders, some nonprofit leaders, we have an elected official. I see North Carolina House Rep 112 Jordan Lopez is on the call with us, and school board candidate Jillian King. So we really do have a phenomenal array of folks on here. And one thing I wanted to lift y'all, because especially if you've been in the East Side for a while, one of the things that we have struggled with, I think we've kind of turned the tide a bit in the past 2 years, but historically has been media coverage or media perception of
Mm,
what East Charlotte is, right? And how some of those stories and negative press has impacted people's perception of wanting to come to East Charlotte, thinking that it's safe, thinking it's X, Y, and Z. So when Angie and the team reached out, I was this is just a phenomenal opportunity for us to cultivate a relationship with an East Side based station, but also to do what I've heard from East Siders for years, which is continue to change the narrative and promote the positives about the East Side. So we're super grateful for your partnership and the station's partnership, Angie. And I think what would probably be best is if, and I'll send it in the minutes as well, but if you would like to leave your email in the comments if people have questions or have tips or however you want to handle it is fine with me. Um, but I'm just really excited to get this going.
Well, Greg, you are welcome to share my email with the team. If
Okay.
you have ideas that are positive stories, again, I mean this in the right way, but we're not here to, and for this community outreach, it's just only positive stories, lifting
Love it.
people up, telling people the good things about your neighborhoods. And so I'm happy if you want to share my email with your group, and please send me your ideas. And we'll start out by the end of this year, and I think by first of next year, we'll be moving a little bit faster. Our goal is to do one a week and to partner with social influencers that can really help amplify those voices. So feel free to send me your ideas. I love that.
I love it. Thank you so much, Angie. And if you have time to stay in the call, please do. Or if you got to go, I'll send you the recording because I think we have some folks that are going to be sharing some pretty phenomenal things that they're doing
Okay.
that will be
I
coming
can
up.
stay probably for about 30 minutes. Is
Cool.
that
Oh
okay? I've
yeah,
got another call
yeah,
coming up. This will be
yeah,
great.
yeah,
I'd
that's
love to
fine.
listen in.
So thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All right, next agenda item. Wanted to briefly go over Election Day primary results. For those of you who were not familiar or have not seen the results from last evening, this was the primary. We've been very much focused specifically just on District 5, getting out the vote, increasing awareness. These are the numbers citywide. So I put the 2023, you can see in the yellow at the top, 2023 numbers, in total vote count in 2025 numbers. So voter turnout was much better citywide yesterday than it was in 2023. Still pretty abysmal at 8%, but a lot better than 4.92%. And you can see there's been roughly 50,000 voters added to the rolls since 2023. And we had roughly 19,000 more people vote this year than we did in 2023. So, a few things. These you're looking at the results of the Democratic primary for the mayor and at large. Both of these contests will have Republican challengers in the general and on November 4th. But the results last night, Mayor Lyles secured the renomination again.
Good.
You can see the at large. You can see council members Ajmira, pretty resounding 30,000 votes. She received more votes than any of her colleagues by far, 5,000, and she received more votes than the mayor at 30,000 votes last night. Something to watch. Council member Slack Mayfield, second, smudgy James came in, Councilmember Mitchell came in third, and then Dr. Victoria Watlington came in fourth with challenger Namrata Yadav, roughly 9,000 votes behind. So what this means, all of the incumbents won in these races. There will be Republican challengers in the general in November. But our specific focus was and has been, because this overlaps with so much of our footprint, exclusively getting out the vote for District 5. As y'all know, as a 501c3, we do not endorse candidates, we do not get involved with campaigns, but we do promote and get out the vote. Thanks so many to you who came to our District 5 candidate forum in August. We had, what was the number? What was that same video? It was like 180. It was around 180 people, 175 that came out. It was a great event. But here are the results from last evening. Challenger Juan Diego JD Mosquera Arias defeated two-term incumbent Marjorie Molina by 37 votes. And this is why every single vote matters. Every single vote counts. And you can see the results at the bottom. District 5, and I don't have, so District 5 in 2023, we had 3,600 people come out. Yesterday, we had close to 6,000, which was phenomenal increase. It was a 66% increase. I do not know yet the total percentage of what that was, that close to 6,000 people. I don't know how that number shook out in terms of percentage of total turnout, because I don't know how many specific new voters were in District 5. I'm waiting for somebody else to do that data. So here's how this will work, just so you all know. 37 vote difference. If you have less than a 1% margin of victory, the loser is entitled to ask for a recount. Councilmember Molina has asked for a recount. And typically what happens in these situations, I mean, it has to be, the election has to be certified by next Friday. There are still roughly it's a little bit less than 200 provisional ballots outstanding citywide. So not in the district. But it's, just looking at this pretty realistically and looking at this from the lens of historical recounts, there's not the expectation that this is going to change the outcome whatsoever. That is where things kind of stood this morning. But there is the recount will be coming. I just don't know the details on that. So there is no Republican challenger for this race. So as it stands today, Juan Diego Mosquera Arias will be our next District 5 City Council representative and taking office in December. So, all right. Wanted to share that data with y'all. Thank you guys all so much for voting, for getting out the vote. I'm pretty happy with, less than 10% is still paltry, but we gotta move somewhere to get people out to the polls. All righty. LaDane, I will pass it over to you.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you all. I'm so glad to see these meetings are still going on after we helped to get them started. So I'm actually going to mention two things, if that's okay. One, Greg is showing we have our second annual Mecklenburg Interfaith Friendsgiving coming up this year. It's the 50th year that we've done something around Thanksgiving, but the second year we've done it in this particular way. And it's a celebration of culture. You can see there the different artists who are going to be performing. It's a little small, but we're really excited about all the different folks who are going to be coming. We're going to have an international food buffet, which is going to be super fun. Chef Amalu, who has catered for us last year, has catered several things for us. She's amazing. So she's put together sort of a buffet with international flair. It's going to be fun. And then I wanted specifically to come today to say that I would love to have your help in one aspect. If you came last year, then you know that the Haitian community did this beautiful display of Haitian art. So they just kind of had two 8-foot tables. I think they all kind of belong to one particular person, but she and her friend came and set it up and it was beautiful. And we liked that so much that we'd love to do some more cultural displays this year. And I knew you all, this was the right place to come to ask for that. So if if you're part of a community that would like to have a table like that, if you think of somebody that I should invite, would just love to have your help thinking about um, groups that might really enjoy coming and putting something together. And I know that last year the Haitian table got just a lot of traffic. People were just really interested in hearing more about the art, more about Haiti. So it's just a great place to sort of celebrate a particular community. So if you think of somebody, that would be great. Please pass this on. And then the second thing I wanted to share is that in February of 2026, we are hosting Interfaith Harmony Month with the subtitle Building Bridges in a Divided World. And we are, it's based on the United Nations has an Interfaith Harmony Week. So we're kind of riffing on that. Our partners down in South Carolina, Interfaith Partners of South Carolina, have a similar event they've been doing for many years. And so we're kind of doing something similar. And what we're hoping is that different congregations, different houses of faith, different cultural communities will invite us to come to their spaces. So we invite folks to come to our events a lot. Um, and we're hoping that folks will invite us to come to their spots. So it could be something that you're already planning to do in the month of February. It could be a, your regular worship service or Bible study. It could be a service project you're doing and you'd like to have other folks come and help. But our idea is just getting communities communicating in relationship, working together, and knowing each other. I will send you the flyer, Greg. And so for both of those, we'd just love to have your help making it um, as rich and diverse and fabulous as possible.
Wonderful. It's super exciting. Thank you, thank you,
I
thank
think
you.
they're both going to be really fun.
Absolutely. So that is the interfaith Friendsgiving, is that on Thanksgiving Day or is it the week before?
No, it's one full week ahead.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. 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 All right. Thank you so much. This is phenomenal. I appreciate it, Ladane. All right. Do we have Ms. Gia Claybrooks on the line with us to discuss Thrive Liberation Community Center and some of the wonderful things that they are kicking off? Oh, there you are, Gia.
Yeah, hey,
Hey, what's up?
nothing much. Good to see you. Hey, everyone. So, my name is Gia Claybrooks. I am the founder and executive director of Thrive Liberation Community Center. We are an organization that prepares Black youth and young adults, specifically ages 13 to 30, to thrive through community care and civic wellness, empowering them to live fully, lead boldly, and liberate completely. We are a fairly new organization. We'll turn 30 here in November, but still fairly new to the community as we're actually just launching our programming next Sunday. And I'm actually here to share a little bit more about that. So next Sunday, oh, and to be clear, we are not necessarily specific to any area in Charlotte. I myself am a resident of Far East Charlotte. And so I have a passion to work with Rocky River and some other high school students in the area. But our goal is to really support Black youth and young adults in the entire Charlotte Mecklenburg area. Um, we are launching some of our programming, like I mentioned, next Sunday, the 21st from 3 to 5:30. And I actually have the flyer if you want me to share it, but I'll put the Eventbrite here in the link as well. But we are going to start, and our desire is to first build community with everyone here in the city, especially Black youth and young adults, and then help them get rooted in their purpose, and then teach systems, teach the importance of systems and activism so that they can go into and make systems change. And so with this work, we have our first on September 21st from 3 to 5:30. It's called Sunday Fellowship. So these are going to be bi-monthly community dinners where we're inviting our target audience, once again, Black youth and young adults ages 13 to 30 and their families, to come out and eat. Our very first one will be themed Black Joy as Resistance. So we're going to have dinner. We'll have what we're calling joy stations, which will be we'll have a DIY self-care kit, which will be candle making. We'll have a make your own merch station. So we'll have some tote bags and some shirts with different things you can put on them, as well as some decorations you can do as well. We'll have free headshots and career prep. That's our level up station. And then we'll have a movement station. And so the goal is, like I said, for us to just really enjoy each other's company, get to build in community. We'll be located at Greater Bethel AME, which is right off of the plaza. And so I'm inviting all of our community members. If you know anyone in this age group that would be interested in attending, please share the event with them. If you yourself are interested in learning more, feel free to get in contact with me. I'll put my email in the chat as well, and I'll put our website. We are in the process of doing a little bit of a mini reorganization of our branding, but for the most part, everything is reigning true. So thank you all so much for listening, and I look forward to hopefully seeing a few of you out at our event or sharing it with some of your neighbors and friends.
Thanks so much, Gia. I'm really glad that y'all are doing the first one at Greater Bethel. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be an amazing time, and the food is going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Are y'all catering or are y'all cooking a house?
Well, so we actually have been able to get some amazing volunteers, and one of them is actually a professor at Johnson and Wales, and so she teaches
Nice.
cooking, and so she's going to get some of her students to come and help. We also have another volunteer that will be making some of the meats. So in a way, it's almost like we're getting catering, but it's going to be in-house, and the goal is for us to maintain that throughout the Sunday fellowship. So if we have any chefs or people who like to cook, that is our goal, to eliminate as much cost as possible. As you all know, we're a nonprofit, and it's a very interesting season for our nonprofit. So if you're passionate about cooking or have any community gardens that you can donate food, we'd be more than happy to receive some of those things as well.
Thank you so much, Gia. And I think we have
Yeah.
another agenda item talking about food in a minute that this might be a really good tie into. Um,
Yeah.
but that's all. I'm so excited for you. I know we've talked about this for a minute. I'm really excited to see this come to fruition for you. This is gonna be great.
I'm so excited. Oh,
Great.
and really quick, if I can do a quick plug,
Yeah.
on our social media, you'll see it there, and I'll we have it's Thrive LCC on Instagram, and it's on TikTok as well, and then it's Thrive Liberation Community Center everywhere else, LinkedIn and Facebook. But we are actually in the process of posting our ballot breakdown videos. So we posted 2 videos right before the election. I posted my own video about my election experience yesterday, but we're going to continue to share the other 2 positions that are coming up, and we'll have some other materials. And the breakdowns really do break down exactly what the job descriptions are, because a lot of times when people are voting, especially young voters, they don't know what people do in office, so that doesn't necessarily get them excited to go vote for them. And so beyond learning about the people, we're going to teach about those job descriptions. So feel free to find our social media and see those posts.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you put your email in the chat?
I sure
Somebody
will.
asked for your email. Thank you so much. Alrighty, y'all. We are going to go ahead and move on to our next agenda item, which I believe is Callie Webb. It is. Callie, are you on the call with us? Let me see. She dropped. I think I see you, but you might be muted. Where you at? Hold on. Hey, Callie. I think you're muted.
Okay, there we go. I
Hey, there
got
you
it.
go.
Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is Callie Webb. My husband and I have started a nonprofit called Huddle for the Kids Foundation. Huddle is an acronym for Help Us Directly Develop Literacy and Education. We're a grassroots nonprofit. We just started last year, but we've been in this area for 15 years in Charlotte. So we're not new to the area, but we're new to the nonprofit sector. We just started a petition for my daughter's school called Lawrence Orr Elementary. They are in desperate need of a crossing guard. So we started that petition because we just want to urge CMS and the city officials to prioritize the safety of our students by approving this crossing guard at the location of the school. And Huddle is spearheading that. We also are working with Ms. Friday, which is the principal and the administrator of Lawrence Orr. So that is the petition that we just started. We would love your participation, your support. We are desperately needing community support and volunteers with Huddle. We are going to have our first pilot program at Lawrence Orr for the students. And you can visit our website. It's called huddleforthekids.org, and I can leave that in the chat as well. But that is what we are doing right now. We have that petition. Greg has the link, and I also can include that link in the chat.
Yeah, if you will, please do that. And I'm sorry, I put crosswalk. I knew it was crossing guard.
Yeah, that's okay.
My bad, my bad. Thank you for sharing. And I know we have, I think there are some school folks on the line too. If you want to shoot Huddle and Callie a direct message, and some other folks that might have some familiarity or some insights with securing similar things for schools in the past, would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, y'all, this is an update. I've been promised y'all I would get this to you. So for those of you who are new, we've really kind of been talking about food insecurity as being one of the biggest issues that we have in our footprint of East Charlotte, which we call the Greater Eastland area, which is 10 square miles surrounding the Eastland redevelopment. At the heartbeat, this is the same geography that really developed largely because of the Eastland Mall 50 years ago. So we're kind of returning to our geographic roots and where we prioritize our work on the east side. We have, over the course of the past couple months, created an asset map of all of the amenities and things in our community, really dedicated to our social service, nonprofit, and faith partners. Can y'all see it or no? Is my screen visible?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you can see a few things, the base map of the geography. We have active recreational amenities. So these are the parks that are coming on board, information, all of these things. All the CMS schools within our footprint, entertainment and venues. I'll get to food in a minute. We do have a pretty extensive, and so I'm the one that manually upkeeps this. So when I see new rezonings or new things come through, I update it. But lists of government subsidized housing, both receiving state and local housing trust fund dollars in our district. And this is really kind of the reason this map originally came to be, to kind of give a visual representation of, the amount of subsidized housing that we actually have in this small footprint. And this was a conversation we had with folks about determining where housing trust fund projects should go and how they determine X, Y, and Z. But it's also a really good resource to help with folks that, are in need of housing. I mean, it has some information about it, leasing information, and X, Y, and Z for each unit. But you can see the concentration along Central Avenue, starting at I think St. Andrews. Yeah, St. Andrews. I think y'all get some, and then we move all the way down to Eastland on Central. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 altogether. We have some of we're working on this very heavily right now in a separate sense, but the unique commercial nodes that we have that comprise what we're creating as the Greater Eastland Business District. Since April, we have gone door to door canvassing the 656 commercial storefronts in this footprint, received inventory, getting the number of vacancies, the type of businesses, working on shutting down fish arcades, identifying more problematic businesses, some of the tobacco and vape shops. So we're working on completing some of the updates with this. Have a pretty comprehensive list of the houses of worship that we partner with, that we've had extending relationships with. This isn't comprehensive. And then also our nonprofit and social service partners that exist in the footprint. So think about this map as really kind of a one-stop shop for resources and just information about our partners and the people that we have seen do really good work. But as it relates to the food insecurity thing, we've been talking for a while with some of our partners who are actually on this call. I see Joanne from Galilee and Representative Lopez, among others. Y'all, food insecurity is, in my opinion, the #1 issue in this community. If this shaded area has 67,000 residents and 32.3% receive SNAP, food and nutrition services. So receive, not are eligible for. That number is likely a lot higher in people who don't qualify but need it. But 32.3% of our 67,000 residents here receive food and nutrition services. As y'all know, budget changes and federal funding cuts to SNAP are going to hit. And Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to be 2027, I believe, is when those are going to take into effect.
That's correct.
But it's going to be pretty disastrous across the board. The state is not going to have revenue to fill that gap. The county will not have revenue to fill that gap. And there are myriad reasons why. And Jordan, I think if you want to jump in, I'm gonna have some time after this for you can jump in, because Representative Lopez here tried to submit an amendment to the budget this year that was denied about getting some more funding for loaves and fish. No, not Nourish Up. But all this to say, we've been talking on this call for a couple months about what can we do collectively with the power of the folks that have the houses of worship, that have food pantries. What can we do to figure out how do we meet the immediate need? How do we collaborate and combine our resources? And how do we kind of move ahead collectively as we know that the situation is going to get more intense? So the first step was mapping the assets that exist. So I have gone ahead and mapped all of the ones that I've either received feedback about directly or the ones that I know exist. And I'll go ahead and put this in the chat so you guys can view it at your own leisure. You just have to make sure you click on the food resources. But you can see, I mean, we do have a good number, and all of these should directly link either to the contact, and I put Lydia's on there because Lydia was not on lemontree.org, which is where I got a lot of this from. But the contact information, only some of them did I put the hours, but most of these go directly to how do you become eligible. So for example, we have Galilee, but I put 2 in here. You can see, Joanne, so you zoom in, we've got your standard, the Nourish Up, how to get a referral, Lydia's Pantry, how does this work? And then you just go around and see, like Sacred Souls, which is kind of hidden. I mean, they put a sign up, I'm really grateful, recently, that says how to call, how to access. Some ones that are a little bit more hidden, you might not see, like in Shannon Park, Lion of Judah Outreach, like Pastor Bremer, where is Church of the Nazarene? So Pastor John has his food pantry, and what we're really just trying to do is put as many resources as possible in one place as a starting point. So I'll open it up, Jordan, if you want to say anything. If not, it's fine. Or if anybody else that is in this space that has pantries wants to add on. And I'll give a little bit more of last thing I'm going to say, a little bit more of a contextual overview. We've been discussing preliminarily holding like a food summit in the Q1 at the beginning of next year, ideally at Galilee with our great partners, Emily and Joanne. And I think I have Betty's on the call. I think there's some other, yeah, I see Betty. But they have 2 pantries over at Galilee, so we thought this would be a really good place to have it. But what does that summit look like? We're not there yet, but this was step 1. So I will stop talking if anybody wants to add anything.
Greg, I want to say something real quick. So many of our caregivers actually receive grocery deliveries from Nourish Up. And as part of our give back with the Frankie May Foundation, once a quarter, we go out and volunteer in the warehouse. And so the last time we went, we actually packed orders for Galilee. So it's just kind of a give back for the foundation. And then also what we started doing, the past couple of months, I had the caregivers to bring canned goods to our monthly meetups. And we just dropped off 288 pounds of canned goods to Nourish Up this week for distribution to different areas. So, I just love the fact that not only are our caregivers receiving services from Nourish Up, we're actually giving back to Nourish Up. And so if anybody else, wants a place to drop stuff off or anything like that, we have bins at the church to collect items to drop off at Nourish Up. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks so much for all that, Venetia. I mean, it's credit. That's really encouraging to hear. I know you brought it up on our United Way call last week, but that's phenomenal.
Greg, Lydia's Pantry is also looking for volunteers
Okay.
so that someone's there to, take an additional shift, Monday through Thursday.
Sure.
So you have the information I see up there. Yeah, all right. Yes,
Is
yes,
this
yes.
correct right now?
On Tuesdays, yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, but you know what? We also need backups for those times
Okay.
too, because folks they go on vacation, they have emergencies and things like that. So we can just get some backups
Sure.
that are willing to fill in, because I realize that some people don't want to do it consistency, but when they have the time, or if they're called. So if we can begin to create a backup list, that would be wonderful.
I will definitely put out the call for that when I send the minutes. Thank you. For those of y'all who, and either one of you, Betty or Joanne, can explain it better than me, but my understanding, right, was there was so much demand for Nourish Up, which is right at the back of their campus,
Yes.
that they decided, you know what, let's open a separate,
Yep.
internally run and organized pantry, just to help meet the needs of those who either couldn't get the services of Nourish Up or folks who needed more. This is just truly a phenomenal effort. And I see Jillian asked, is the email on that map the best one to connect? Betty, can you put your email in the chat as well?
Yes.
Hey, Greg, and you had hit the nail on the head with the cuts to Medicaid and SNAP benefits in particular hitting in 2027. And just to kind of, I guess, fill in some more about the efforts that we made this year that you acknowledged weren't successful at the legislature with the budget, unfortunately. In the time since, I've even I invited a Republican up to take a tour, a member of the majority party, excuse me, trying to keep it nonpartisan here, to come and take a tour of a freshless food hub that does, among other things, circulate fresh produce in particular to organizations and to neighbors directly who are in experiencing food emergencies. And on that tour, really connected with the guy and found a deep sense of support for ensuring that we create more programs that not only support organizations like Fresh List, and I even acknowledged Nourish Up and brought that up and invited him to come back to Charlotte for a tour of their facility to learn more about that space. I think hopefully and I hate, talking about things in this long-term way, but it's just kind of the way the legislature works. But in the long term, hoping to build some bipartisan support for not only organizations that do direct food serving, such as Nourish Up, but even organizations that support local farmers and regional farmers by buying up some of the B grade, as they call it, produce that isn't suitable for grocery stores, but is still healthy, is still fresh, it still provides same nutritional value, and then redistributing that to community members who are experiencing food emergencies. And he seemed very, very receptive to that, and as if he's interested in finding support within his caucus to make that a priority going forward in future budgets. So it's something that does not happen overnight. Unfortunately, I'm in the minority party, so I just can't make those types of decisions. But I think building partnerships like that in the long term will be fruitful for future budget sessions, whether it's next year's technical correction budget or even 2020, unfortunately, seven's long session budget, which would be more expansive. I think that there is hopefully light at the end of the tunnel, that we're going to get some support to kind of fill some of the gaps that the federal government is creating.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative. Thank you. I know this is one of your actual top priorities, so appreciate you keep fighting on this. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say let's make a commitment today that we will have a meeting
Okay.
soon at Galilee, because if this is what we know is coming,
Yeah.
We're opening up more food pantries while other parts of town have for the 10 wealthiest grocery stores in the world, and they're building theirs. And I think if we could learn from each other, develop what our best practices are, and then start networking. Like, what do you need? What do we have? And so let's make this one happen. Okay.
Cool. Let's we'll
And I'll help. I mean, I'll help.
Let's link because I think the planning for this, if we could shoot for probably February, we'll connect and I'll connect Emily and you and Betty and we can sit down and figure out the date and then we can get things in motion because I want to make sure y'all get past your 10-10-10 too, your 10
Mhm.
anniversary, which is coming up. So thank y'all for your willingness to host.
Yeah, and I'd like to introduce you all. Dr. Yolanda Cochran, I think, is on the phone call, and she's our co-chair. Is she here?
You know what?
Yeah,
I saw Dr. Cochran.
yeah,
Hey, how
I'm
you
here.
doing?
Yeah, and she is co-chair of our community engagement, and so we will do this inside the community engagement committee.
Wonderful. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanne. And I'm looking, I see couple people posted about the bulb. So let me give you guys some context to the bulb as well. Like Lisa and them, they're phenomenal partners. Under the United Way's umbrella, our core partners in our bridge actually pay for them to come in to do the east side, some of the east side sites. Um, they've been great. They've been phenomenal. You know, the urban farm is really they do a lot of stuff over at Garinger too. So their schedule, I probably should update it and just update this every few months because I know it changes.
Hmm.
Because the bulb goes all over town. But thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Yeah, we have 4 minutes left. So what I'm gonna do very quickly, we have two other items, and I want to make sure that I can open it up for a minute or two for open comment. Two events I'd like y'all to be aware of. Charlotte Museum of History. Well, again, and Joanne, will you, I've gotten it a million times, but will you send me again the flyer for the your anniversary or the 10-10?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send it right now.
Okay, because Galilee's having a wonderful celebration of their
Yep.
10th year on October 10th. I think it'd be phenomenal for people to come out, especially if you've never been to Galilee. The Charlotte Museum of History is doing an East Side festival. They're calling Eastside Soul on October 11th. So think kind of featuring, and if you are interested in being a table host or a vendor or a partner, I know Kendall and Nolan and Terry are still looking for people to table. Just everything East Side. They want East Side nonprofits, East Side people, everybody coming out. We're gonna have a few panels about the East Side. So it's gonna be a really hyper local, cool event with the goal being an ultimate exhibit specifically just around East Charlotte. Very excited about that. Charlotte East, we are holding one of our last two cleanups of the year on Central Avenue on this Saturday. If you want to meet us at 10 o'clock at Manolo's, you don't have to register. You can just show up. Hopefully the weather, if it's anything like this week, it'll be absolutely gorgeous. Let me look. Yeah, looks beautiful. Low of 59, high 81. Beautiful. 10 o'clock in the morning. Guys, I will say the trash citywide is out of control. Central Avenue is not crazy bad, but we could use probably some help picking up yard signs. But out like it's just we need people out to come help pick up trash. So if you or somebody's available or your networks, we'll send the flyer out tomorrow. But with that said, we have 2 minutes, so maybe time for one or two announcements if anybody else wants to add something.
I'd like to invite everyone on the call to come yourself and bring someone. Galilee is celebrating her 10th year. And on Friday, our theme is the power of 10. So on Friday, October 10th at 10 o'clock in the nave, we were having a celebration of that. I just sent the flyer. It has, for people that more brain cells than I do, it has a QR code so you can register. That's all we ask you to do is register. We're really excited. And the other thing I just like to say, we listened to the group, and several of you all were our focus group members today. We bought back the lunch at Galilee on Wednesdays. And there were 10 tables filled, and only one table didn't have anybody sitting at it. So that love feast at Galilee's is on its way back, and it's back, and we are it's free, and that's where you see community come together. So I'm just so excited about that. We'll send you more information. And we could probably figure out a way that perhaps Charlotte Eats, this group, could sponsor a lunch, because
Yeah.
yeah, we got the space, but we need someone to bring the food. So you would have been happy.
Wonderful.
First one since COVID.
I love
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so glad. We are at time, y'all. And here's for those of y'all who are new. If you guys have anything that you didn't get to lift up, if you'd like to email it to me, if you want to email it to me if you could by today, but midday tomorrow, I'll type it up and put it in the minutes and have it sent out either tomorrow afternoon or Friday. Thank you all for being on the call. So greatly appreciated. Hope you all have a blessed rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, Greg. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.